Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to my face, my common sense. I try to keep it down on a nitty gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very, very important. And not important to liberals, libertarians. People believe in God. People like to smoke. People like to drink. People like ayahuasca. People like DMT. I have too much common sense to associate with individuals like that. And 9 times out of 10, when I find out that you smoke, there's a whole list of pathologies that's going through my mind. When I find out that you're a drinker, there's a whole list of psychology pathologies that go through my mind, okay? Just one thing, if you mention one thing, and every time you open your goddamn mouth, and you're trying to be my friend, you think I don't know who you are. There's a whole list of fucking pathology that's going through my goddamn mind, psychologicals. And no matter what, I try to give good information on my YouTube videos for good reason. But there's some people who think I'm a liar and they're becoming biased and EBDs, okay, emotional douchebags. That's a term that's way made up, way back in the past, okay? And, oh my goodness, sometimes you stretch and shit, and then you realize you stretch too hard, you pull your goddamn muscle. You gotta be careful. Always do everything slowly, but not quickly, okay? You see that owl on the top of my head? You see that mole under my right eye? You know I'm speaking the truth. You know that, goddammit. Now, let's get on with the subject. Now, for today's topic, what will be today, I probably did make it, but I don't know. What to do with people who are not appreciative or complimentive, okay, or sincere or apologetic. You know what I would do, okay? This is why I don't really hang with most people, because most people are not trained to be truly sincere or apologetic, or they spoke up the wrong way. I usually try to give them advice, before I continue on talking to them. And what I finally would do if they don't tend to understand or practice what I preach, okay, I tend to just abandon them, and then they'll ask me some questions like, hey, what happened to you, man? Why don't you talk anymore? Because, you're inconsiderate, man. You're selfish. So this is what I do. If you want to figure out someone really quick, you always do a little test. You always give a little bit of advice first and see if they heard you. It's very important to be heard. Because when you're speaking about information that's very valuable, the only way you're going to learn is when they're older. Okay, so this is what you have to do. You have to give them their advice first. Like, for example, I'll tell my wife sometimes, you know that you're in the wrong by thinking the way you do. And I'll give her the pathology of how she's thinking wrong, because I'm never really wrong. I don't really think myself as wrong. If I ever got caught up in a situation where I'm wrong, then I will be willing to listen. But 9 times out of 10, it's usually not the case, because I learned my lesson, and it would not be twice that I have learned my lesson, okay? But, as I said before in my video, I always make it very clear in the beginning that if you don't like what I say, please give me a question, ask a comment. Don't just burst out with your emotion, because I'll just either block you or just, make fun of you, okay? You can make fun of me all you want. That's what I want you to do, because you're emotional. EDBs, okay? NPCs, non-playable characters, non-critical thinking skill type individuals. When you give someone some knowledge, okay, only give them a little, but not a lot. Don't never talk to people too much, because what they do, they take your ideas and they run with it, but they'll never give you no recommendation for it. So this is why you don't spill all your beans on the internet. I give good information, but I don't do every little bit of information. Okay, it may seem like a lot of information, but got a whole lot more information on there. But I don't really talk about everything I'm doing. Right. So when you want to try to be compassionate to someone or trying to be someone's friend or something like that, don't get too close. Don't be too emotional. First, show them what you have to offer and see how they respond. Like I told my wife when I first met her, I said that I'm a holy man. I have no sins in my past. I didn't really care if she was religious or not. It's just the fact that if she doesn't follow the code of the Bible, then she is a hypocrite. And hypocrites will go to hell faster than you can say white on fucking rice. And I try to tell people that you can't say you're Christian. A lot of people say they're Christians, but they're not Christians, especially when you read everything that's in the Bible back and forth like I used to do. My mom used to be on my case about reading the book. I used to know all of the goddamn books in the Bible. But that's the gist of what I'm saying here. If you want to know if somebody's apologetic, get emotional and act emotional, like you actually got hurt. And say to this person, okay, you actually hurt my feelings. Just say it directly out. Be outspoken when you speak. If that person doesn't say sorry in a very sincere way and you don't feel it, then you go on to the next step. You got to keep going on to the steps. This is how you can know if someone's genuine. They really care about your emotions. Because I care about people's emotions to the point to where people think I'm a narcissist. Okay, isn't that weird how society works today? Like you care about someone's personality, you act on it the appropriate way, and then they don't realize what they have until it's too late. Until they get like 40 years old or 50 years old. Then they want to start donating to you. Donate. No, because I don't want no fucking pity. You fucked up. Okay, I get so many people like that in my life. I'm like, oh, you want to be a little thoughtful now. You're not apologetic. Okay, see that's the thing. When they're not sincere, they haven't learned a lesson in their life to be apologetic. Most women, in particular, are not apologetic. Men are if they're in fear. If they're in fear of you, they're going to be apologetic or respect your wishes. Especially maybe if you're older, they'll respect you. But please understand this: if you don't test the waters out in people's personalities, pathologies, okay, psychologies, you're gonna have a problem with accumulating foolish humans in your life, which is a waste. Like how I've been seeing all these people with all these thousands of fucking 5,000 friends and followers and shit. When people need a lot of attention, okay, those are people who are just in the most depressive states. To me, okay, when I see people with thousands of millions of shit, I don't even want none of that shit. I don't even want none of that attention. You know the difference. A difference of person who's independent versus someone who's dependent on your attention. You got to be careful with that. That's my daughter's in the tub. But other than that, understand that's a basic psychology. If a person is really out there, celebrities, it doesn't matter who it is, and they're out there and they fell off. They keep telling me they fell. I used to rap. Okay, okay, start again. They're ambitious. You can tell what type of person they are if they're ambitious. Okay, you don't need to work. You shouldn't have to work so hard. You work smart. Okay. The old school type people will always say to you, you work hard. Okay, you work hard to get what you have. But the really smart people, which is a very small and few between, would say, what's better than working hard? Working smart. And when you work smart, you find different things like loopholes to make your life much more easier instead of having all of the overhead, which is really irrelevant in life because you live less than 100 years old. You could be doing noble things in life rather than just twiddling your thumbs, doing stuff to make so much more money and not helping no one out. But you'll never know what's going to happen in your next life. So I told my wife, I said, whatever you're doing now and whatever you're thinking in your mind, it will affect you either in this life and hypothetically in the next life. And your next life, you may be born in the past, not in the future. Time doesn't exist on the other side, hypothetically speaking. But of course, I hope you learned something in this video. So I keep trying to talk. I was over my, this is why I'm making this video, because there's some people who are just not really emotional people. They're not empathetic, but they'll have a euphoric state of mind when they think they're religious or they believe in Jesus or some shit. They think that by believing in a fictitious ghost or boogeyman, that they're going to be saved. But it's not the case, though. It's just an illusion. But everything is like an illusion. But other than that, that's all I really wanted to say. So many simps, so many hypocrites, so little time. And that's all I really got to say about that. It's sad that most people do not have that empathy, sympathy. But some people will just do things out of pity, and I don't like pity at all. I don't really like it. I have rejected so much money in my past. I will be rich though. People have pity for me. I said, I don't want your pity money. I have to get a chance to know you. You want to give me that much money? Jesus Christ, okay? Some guys want to do it for pleasure. Let me fuck you up your ass for fucking $1 million. That have happened to me. I said, no way. I'm not for sale. I'm priceless, baby. Sorry. But everybody has a number. Not everybody has a number. Sorry, that doesn't work. But other than that, that's all I really wanted to say, you guys. And I hope you learned something here. Use psychology. Be silent. Be peace. Okay. Don't be so eager for someone's attention when they have not even been trained to give you that attention. Okay. This happens to most people in the world. Women and men and transvestites and hermaphrodites too as well. I'm out of here, you guys. I hope you learned something in this video within 10 minutes. And you did it. Congratulations. Peace.